So here we have multiplying integers. Okay? So when you multiply numbers with the same sign, the product is positive. So in other words, what that means is a positive times a positive equals a positive number because it's same signs yield a positive number. A negative times a negative also equals a positive sign. Then a negative times a positive equals a negative, and then a positive times a negative equals a negative. So here the signs were the same, the answer is positive. Here the signs were different, and the answer is negative. Okay? So let's move on. You can write that down. You can stop the video and write that down. Because when I scroll up, it erases it. Okay. So here we have examples. So here we have negative 7 times 6. It's a negative times a positive, so the answer is negative. 7 times 6 is 42, so the answer is negative 42. Negative times a negative is positive. 18 times 10 is 180. So a negative times a negative, positive answer. Now on this one here, this is literally negative 2 times x times 5 times y. So we can multiply in any order. So we got to multiply negative 2 times 5, and that's negative 10, because a positive times a negative is a negative. Then we multiply that times x, so negative 10x, and then multiply that times y, negative 10xy. And there's multiplication between those. So the shortcut or the effect is multiply the coefficients and then tack on the variables. Okay? Let's move on. These are just numbers, and you did that to great extents last year. I don't even think you need review on that. Okay, let's go straight into simplifying these expressions here. Okay, so let's look at this here. Okay, so these are expressions, and expressions do not have equal signs, and they're numbers and operations. So we have numbers and operations. So when we have numbers and operations, we use order of operations. And that's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? And so this here, we go down. Okay? We do parentheses first or grouping symbols, then exponents, then multiplying and dividing from left to right, adding and subtracting from left to right. All right, so here on number 13, what are we going to do first? Are there parentheses we can do? Exponents, multiplication or division, adding or subtracting? So what do we do first? Right, we have to do multiplying before we can do subtraction. So we multiply 4 times negative 2x, and we get negative 8x. Then we bring down this negative 8x, and now we have negative 8x minus 8x. A negative and then a negative, you when you're subtracting or combining two negatives, you get a negative. So it's, if you're on the number line, here's 0, you go to negative 8, go to negative 8 more, and you're at negative 16. So this would be negative 16x. Another way you might look at it is you might look at it as plus a negative. Okay, same thing, combining them. Okay, so that's the answer there. Next one, number 14. Okay, we have 6 times negative 2n minus 10n. What are we going to do first? Right, we're going to do multiplication. 6 times negative 2n is negative 12n. Then we're going to have minus 10n. And we're going to combine the negative 12 and the negative 10. And what's our answer? Right, negative 22n. Okay, now let's look at the next one, number 15. And we have 6 times negative 3y minus y. First thing is parentheses. Can we do what's in the parentheses? Yes. 3y minus y is 2y, because we have an assumed 1 in front of there. And then we still have 6 on the outside. 6 times 2y is 12y. Okay? Now, number 16. Okay, we have negative 3 times 3d plus 2d. Okay, can we do the parentheses? Are those like terms? Can we combine them? Yes, we can. 3d plus 2d is 5d times negative 3. Okay, now when we multiply those, we have a negative times a positive. We multiply the numbers, then tack on the variable. Negative 3 times 15 is negative 15. And then we tack on d. Okay. Number 17. We have negative 2x times 2 plus 2x times 3y. Okay. There's really no parentheses. Those are multiplications. No exponents. We have multiplication from left to right. So negative 2x times 2 is negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Tack on the x. Positive 2 times 3 is positive 6. Tack on the x and y. Can we combine these two? No. So that's our answer. Here we have 4m times negative 2n plus 2d times negative 4e. What do we do first? Right, multiplication. So 4m times negative 2d is, right, negative 8n. 8mn. And we put them in alphabetical order. Then we do 2d times negative 4e. And what do we get? Right, negative 8 DE in alphabetical order. Can we combine these two? No. So that's our answer. Okay. Now we want to look at number 19. We want to look at number 19. Negative 5 times 2x plus x minus 3 times, or minus 3 times negative xy. So we want to use order of operations. It says to do parentheses first. Can we do the parentheses? Yes, those are like terms. And so what's 2x minus 1x? Excuse me, 2x plus 1x. Right, it's 3x. So we bring down the negative 5 times 3x, because we did inside the parentheses, minus 3 times negative xy. So now what's the next thing we do? Right, multiplication. Negative 5 times 3x is Right, negative 15x. And then negative 3, there's an assumed 1 right in front of here. So negative 3 times negative 1, negative times a negative is positive. 3 times 1 is 3. And then we just tack the x and y behind it. Okay, now on this one here, what do we want to do first? We have 2 times negative 4x plus 2x. Okay? 2 times negative 4x plus 2x. Parentheses. Can we do inside the parentheses? Yes. What do you get when you combine negative 4x with 2x? Right. You bring down the 2 and you get negative 2x. Then you multiply negative 2x times 2. Positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 2 is 4. Then you tack on the exponent. Here, parentheses. Can we do the parentheses? No. So now we have to multiply negative 3 times both of these terms. Okay? And what do you get when you multiply negative 3 times both these terms? Right. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. And then negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18m.